establishing pillars as far as is that it's not all about just the money. And if that's 1/5 of who you are, we mentioned that before, relationships, taking care of yourself, not just from a health perspective, because I am a terrible husband if I'm dead. Much worse than I already am. I'm a terrible dad. I'm a terrible business partner. Everything if I'm dead. So health is important. Those relationships are important. My wife is my axis in which I spin off of. And so if things are good with my wife, everything else, the subsequent, becomes a little bit easier and better. And I'm not saying that money stresses aren't real stresses. They are, but when things are good, and I'll give you an example of this. I was in March of 2020 closing on a decent sized deal for me. So we were buying a building and I had $1 million hard on it. Hard earnest money down on this building. We were closing at the end of the month, April 1st. And so we'd evidenced and we had this loan going through. So it was a $18 million loan. It's a $30 million project kind of thing, subsequently $25, $30 million project. And we're signing loan docs on Friday. Monday is the first of the month. Tenants have already been notified. We're buying the building. We're coming in, rent checks are going to go here. And I don't know if you get some of those spidey senses sometimes. And all of a sudden on Friday of this in 2020, COVID, things are getting weird. Things are getting out there. And it was just one of those things. And we're waiting for one signature page to kind of be corrected on the attorneys. And they weren't responding. And they were being slow to respond. And it was just like, this isn't right. Something's not right. I called up our capital markets guy and I was like, reach out, make some calls, back channel this, try to figure out what's going on. And they came up and they said, hey, we've been getting margin called all week. And the lender was getting margin called. They had their warehouse line frozen. They had their future funding line frozen. And then they said, we can't do your loan. It's Friday and we're supposed to close on Monday. This was like a whole ramp up, whole teams, lots of people. Of course, I'm like, today's the day we're going to close. We're going to make it. We're going to get through. We've raised all these funds. We're ready to go. And I have $1 million hard. My business partners had said, I don't know, we're feeling nervous about it. So I kind of put all in. I'm committed to the $1 million hard. I'm pushing this project through. And I do believe this is going to be a good investment. And I came home just getting the call. Hey, we have no funds. We'll do an emergency session with the CEO on Saturday, but we can't do the loan. And so I go home so my wife can tell and sense immediately. She's like, you're supposed to come home and have good news. We closed, we did it. And she's like, hey, and I go, I think I might have just lost $1 million. And you know what? My wife is awesome. She's like, is there anything else you could have done? I said, not really. And she's like, well, let's just say a prayer about it and we'll fight another day, go back on Monday and go on the weekend. And I said, yeah, this thing. She's like, okay, I love you. Even if you lose $1 million, they're not going to take your family away from you. They're not going to take your kids away from you. They're not going to do it. And because of that support, that axis in which I spun on, I said, you know what? I can go fight another day. I can go figure this out. And so I went back and we were able to extend the escrow. And I went to him and I was like, hey, you could theoretically just go take $1 million. Like, we didn't close. We've removed all contingencies because we have loan docs literally right here. Nothing else. You guys could take the $1 million. And so we got an extension. I said, I'm not going to put any more money hard, or I'm not going to put any more money down, but I need 4 months or 6 months. I was like, I just have no idea. And so we subsequently were able to come back in, bring a new lender in and close on the loan. We're actually just finishing up. So we'll be delivering 63 apartments on the Riverwalk in downtown San Antonio. In about 2-3 months from now, we were able to close, retool, push that through. And it's looking like real estate prices tripled in the last, year. And it looks like it's going to turn out to be a pretty good investment for the investors and for all involved. Who knows? At least right now, it looks like we were able to fight another day. Those relationships helped me get through some of those things from a business perspective.
Sure.